Okay, I'm going to show you how to use Excel to do this, because in this particular problem they're wanting you to do Excel, and I can send you, well actually if you go into chapter 5 resources and click on this right here, this is the actual spreadsheet that goes with my video where you can actually practice it with me. But what I've done is I have gone through and deleted what was in there, but you can pull it up. Hold on, I think it's actually pulling up right now. Yeah, there's this one goes with the video, but I deleted everything so we can enter in our information. Now everything we're doing in Excel you could technically do on paper. So let me go back to the problem, and I'm going to enter the number of children 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into my spreadsheet. So this is actually children, and this is going to be in your formula is going to be XI. So I believe it was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our frequency is 42. And I'm just going to write this down and type it in instead of opening it in Excel, just because I already have a spreadsheet set up for these particular problems. So our frequency was 42, 20. 22, 11, 3, and 2. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get the probability of each of these. So the way you do that is the probability. First you want to get the total number of your sum of your frequency. So down here what I did, and I'm going to show you, you're going to put equals sum, and anytime you want to add something up in Excel, you just select the cells and close the parenthesis and then press enter. Now you could have just put this in your calculator and gotten 100. That would have been perfectly fine. To get your Px of I, your probabilities of each of these, remember to get the probability, you take the frequency, so you do equals and then you select the 42, and you're always going to divide it by 100, so I'm just going to put 100. So each time it's going to take this cell over here and divide it by 100. So what I can do is I can pull this down and it will get my probabilities. Now if I want to make sure my probabilities are right, if I sum them up, they should equal 1. And they do. Okay, so if you want to go by the formula, step by step, the first thing we did was we took the data values and summed them up, and then we got P of X of I, because what we're going to have to do is once we get the probabilities, we're going to times each probability by X and sum them up to get the mean. So we've already found the probabilities, now we have to multiply them by X. So what that means is we're going to do equals, and X would be 0, so select it and enter your times, and then your P of X of I, which is this. So this is XI and this is the probability. So here's X, here's the probability, press enter. And then just take the plus sign, and you're going to do that for each one. And they want this rounded, I believe, to the third decimal place. Now, how did I know that they wanted it to the third? when you're going through this problem step by step, see that P of X of I, it says round to the 3 decimal places. The last thing in the formula, we found our probability, we've multiplied it by X. This summation symbol means to add those up. So we're going to add those up, and this is where we're going to put the actual mean. So when we're adding, we do sum parentheses and then highlight what we want to add up, and that is your mean. So your mean is what we got, 1.19, to rounded to the 3rd decimal place. Now the standard deviation has a little bit more to it. Let me keep going. Alright, so the standard deviation, we're going to take for each value of X, we're going to subtract the mean and square it. So let's do that first. So we'll just do the value of X and subtract the mean. The mean is 1.190. So we're going to do that for each one. All I did was take X and subtract 1.19. Now here we're going to square it. So we're going to take our value here and we're going to raise it to the 2nd power. And like I said, everything I'm doing you can do in your calculator. You just have to make sure you round. Let's see what they want us to round to. So when we square it, we're rounding to the 3rd decimal place. So here we want to round 1 there, just like that. So how did I get that number again? I took my difference of X and my mean, and I squared it. And then I'm going to copy that down. Okay, and then the last step, or almost the last step, is we're going to multiply that by the probability. Notice that we keep going back to that. We're always multiplying by the probability. So we're going to take what we got and we're going to multiply it by our probability, which is right here, our Px of I. Copy it down. And then if you'll look, your formula, once you copy it down, the variance is the sum. So when we add this column up, I keep going to the wrong spreadsheet. When we add the sum of X minus the mean squared times the probability, when we add these up, that's the variance. We have one more step. Let's make sure we're rounding to what they want us to. Round to 3 decimal places. So we're going to do, and you can do this in your calculator too, equal SQRT square root parentheses, select this value, and you get 1.278, which is what we got. So this is a lot of steps, so I can understand why this could take time or just take practice. But even if you don't do your spreadsheet in Excel, you could still set this up on your paper to get the correct answer. But just let me know if you have any questions.